Good morning. Okay, that answered that question. I'm never quite sure what my voice sounds like these days. I've got this call and then Chris's call and then 2 consultations, tech call, and another consultation. So, good morning, beautiful ladies. Dawn Smith and Vic are both in the house. Thank you guys for showing up. Yeah, a little bit. Kimmery, good morning. So we got a couple of you that are in text group. Any idea on a topic for this afternoon? Tech always asks for a topic, a title. I mean, that doesn't, I try to steer it that way, but I mean, that doesn't mean that any questions are off the table. The thing is, I've been saying the same thing for the last, 6, 8 calls. It's all been about deductions. Guess what that meant? That meant that I'm still not getting through to people. And so I'm going to do a whole deep dive on deductions and expenses. And I finally kind of fleshed it out yesterday. Now I just need to do the sign up pages. But yeah, it's coming up pretty quick because we're going to do it for the month of May. And then we'll see how the month of May goes. And I'm thinking, I'm not sure that I will do June. I might do something different for June. Skip July. I don't know. We'll see that. We'll see how May goes. And if May goes well, and then maybe we'll just run them back to back. I just know that I'm going to have a couple of weeks on location, which is fine. I can do it on location, right? I do really want to enjoy Maine when I'm there, though. So I do want to try and keep the work while I'm in Maine to a minimum and really enjoy being there and relaxing and, making content, other content and stuff. So Dawn says she's actually really excited about the deductions class. Vic says daily and weekly tasks to break down the daunting task of accounting. Yep. Based on our conversation yesterday, I wrote down a few of the things that you said about lists, and I have to figure out a way to do it, right? Because not everybody, it's like I put out lists and people ignore them. They don't even bother to try them. So, and I can write a list and it doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So I would rather find a way to teach you to make a list for yourself. Like do some type of thought training type thing where we just talk about, we can talk about your day. So see, here's the thing. Lists get overcomplicated Oh, you were talking about for text call? Okay. I mean, they okay. Good morning, Freya. I hope you're well. Um, okay. So lists. What's on your list? Where do you fit in your bookkeeping? What is on your bookkeeping list? What's on your accounting list? What's on your tax list? What do you think you need to do for your bookkeeping? I like that. I like that one. What do you think bookkeeping involves? What do you think bookkeeping involves? What do you think you should Hi, little one. Get them involved in thinking. Yeah, I love it when I have interaction. Interaction is great. It really gets the creative juices flowing. It opens people's minds to other ideas. People realize that they're not alone. There's just so much that happens when there's interaction during the calls. I think people definitely get a lot more out of it when there's interaction during the calls. So what do you think bookkeeping involves? What do you think you should do for your bookkeeping? What gives you anxiety? What bothers you about bookkeeping? Vic says thought on their personal task rather than the big picture you were educating them on. Thought on their right. So I would like to ask a question this morning. What bothers you about bookkeeping? Like literally, you that are watching me right now. So whether you're watching the replay or you're watching this morning, so the people that I know that are here, it's Dawn, Vic, Kimmery, Freya, Larry, good morning. You too, you're included. What bothers you about bookkeeping? Some of you are using my workbook. Some of you are thinking about it, but what is it that bothers you? I found out yesterday that even with training, even with hey, you're licking way too much. Stop. Shh. You're loud. Even with training on my workbook, even with listening to me talk about all this stuff for close to 3 years, I mean, I'm not going to take 100% of the blame, but I will take, I'll take 90%. That some people still are like they're still missing a big portion of what is involved. Like, I put on the newest. I mean, I think that maybe I'll fix it this year because on the newest version of the workbook, on the right above the pivot table, it says, and the pivot table is where all the totals go. It says, don't forget your eBay, selling cost, or don't forget your selling costs, don't forget your internet, don't forget your cell phone. Those are the three biggest things that people forget. And I don't know. Thankfully, I haven't had anybody forget their inventory. Kerry says, facing the reality of where you actually are in your business. What bothers you about it? Okay, what bothers you about bookkeeping? Facing the reality of where you actually are in your business. That's deep, Kimmery. And knowing that you do your bookkeeping, you do your husband's for the other company, you're pretty on top of your number of all the numbers. So yeah, I can understand that. Okay, so here's the thing, right? If you don't face the reality, of where you actually are in your business by doing your numbers, you could be doing absolutely excellent and you have no idea. Like, you could be freaking killing it and not know. But if you don't do your numbers, you have no way of changing it if you aren't killing it. And you have no way of enjoying it if you are killing it. Vic says, laying out paperwork, adding to the spreadsheet, getting it wrong. Laying out paperwork, adding to the. Okay, so I don't understand if you lay out the paperwork and you add it to the spreadsheet and you put exactly what is on the paperwork in the spreadsheet, why is it wrong? Vic says, auditor telling me I don't have it all. Okay, that's an organizational issue. And I'm not 100% positive I can help with that one. But I will try. All right, I wrote down organizing. Morning, Yahana. Vic says, the time it takes and interruptions, the numbers stress me out. Dawn says, what I am going to owe in taxes. Okay, so two things about taxes. One, when you're using my workbook and you got the little green box in front of you on the total snapshots page, because you're doing your bookkeeping on a regular basis, right? And you follow what I tell you about not paying in quarterly taxes, but you should be looking at that net number right there, and you should be putting money into a savings account. And if you don't have any money left over, then we need to reduce some expenses somewhere. We need to figure out, we need to back up, because if there's no money left over, if you've got a profit and there's nothing left over, you have a spending problem. So, all right, spending problem. because I know there's a lot of people with spending problems. I'm going to have to go back and listen to my own call because there's some juicy bits in here. Kimmery says reality is a bitch sometimes. It absolutely is. Larry says, I like Kimmery's answer. I have no idea where I'm at. Yeah. And that's a problem. If you don't know, you can't change it. Don says, keeping track of mileage. That should be easy, but I forget about it. Okay, but Dawn, I know that you generally go the same places. Stop it. Joe, stop. Stop it. So if you generally go the same places, you can say, or maybe that's what you need to do. You need to look at where you go and decide what's the best days to go there. And then say, okay, this store is excellent every day. So if I go out Monday through Friday or Monday through Sunday, then I'm going to definitely hit this store every time. And this store is great on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But there's way too many people on there on the weekend. So I don't want to deal with it on the weekend. And then this store, they put out new stuff on Wednesday. So I want to go there. Maybe I want to go there Tuesday and make sure of anything that has been left over. And then go back on Wednesday for, like super early for all the great things, right? So say we just stick with those three. So we know that the one store is going to be a 7-day-a-week thing, and then the one store is going to only be on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So is that one that's on Tuesday and Wednesday, is that closer or further from the 7-day-a-week store? And then the one that's going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, where does that one fall in the drive? All right. So then you can at least have a small list of, that on these days, if you hit these 3 stores, your mileage is going to be exactly, at least XYZ. So let's say it's 50 miles round trip to the furthest place and back, right? So you just have that in a little legend over on the side, and then you can copy that down your whole entire sheet and say, all right, Monday through Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, because we're doing the 3 stores on Wednesday. We're doing 2 stores on Tuesday. So just anyway, you get the picture, right? You've got a little bit of a legend on what days you go where. If you add to it, then, add to it. If you go to an extra place one of those days, then come in and put the extra numbers in. But at least you have a pretty solid list of where you've gone, with the numbers already filled in your workbook. Then all you have to do is check your odometer reading and true it up as you go through the year. Like I pre-fill in my post office for the year. Joseph, please quit licking Wilson in the face. Stop, dude. Stop. Enough. Grief, he's giving him a whole bath over here. Vic says, I have organizational issues. I have a spending problem. Ostrich sticking my head in the ground. Procrastination problem. Bookkeeping needs to be priority. We all have those issues to a degree. You're not alone. Okay. I have organizational issues. I'm better at it than I used to be. I'm better at it in my computer than I am in my space. Oh my goodness, we only got 5 minutes left. I'm better at it in my space than I am in the house. And I'm almost like, when it comes to organizing with another person, I need to just stick my head in the sand because I give up. I can't do it. I am unable to get the other person or the other people on board to whatever organizational thing I try to put in place. Larry says, check with Solo on the mileage. What's Solo, Larry? Robin says, I need to make myself a monthly checklist to follow so I don't have to keep double checking if entered it or not. Which is why I do it once a month. Which is why I have a 2-hour bookkeeping call in my group once a month. Because I'm like, if you want to add certain things during the week, okay, add the certain things during the week. But then know which things you add during the week and only add those things during the week and save everything else for the month, right? Solo is a mileage tracker. Okay. Solo mileage tracker. Now, the reason that I don't like the Mile IQ is because I don't want to have to swipe left and right? I want when I start it, I want it to keep running and give me my list for the day. Don't make me swipe left or right. Don't make me say it's personal or business. It's freaking business. If I'm doing it, it's business. If I'm tracking it, it's business. And just otherwise, just make the little thing shut up. Vic says, give a thumbs up. Yes, please. We got 7 people watching. We've only got a couple minutes left. This one's been a good call. I like this. I like this format. I'll ask you guys a question. You guys give me feedback. Vic says, but I'd rather do anything else then I run out of time in a day and I forget it. Need to prioritize a small bookkeeping task before I do the daily listing. That's not entirely true, Vic, about the bookkeeping task. I don't want you to have to do it every day. I really don't. Let's see. We got J Team 10 in the house. Welcome. Is the new calculated shipping going to force everybody to use it? No, it's not forcing anybody to use it. There's an opt-out button. So, and it only works if you are using calculated shipping in your listings already. So if you're not using calculated shipping, then it won't apply to you at all. If you are using calculated shipping, then it automatically changes, but you can go in there and hit the button to turn it off, which I highly suggest. I mean, if you're not going to use if you are going to use calculated ship, if you're going to give the people the lesser amount that we get by using, by having the ability within eBay or Pirate Ship or whatever, if you're going to pass that on, then just do flat rate shipping. It's easier. Yeah, see, but I've been competitive for years, not using calculated shipping at all. And I'm sticking with calculated shipping because here's the thing. Either I use calculated shipping and I add a little bit more that I can't quite control to the amount of the item, or I use flat rate shipping and I can add my little 25 cents to whatever my number is. And some people are going to pay a little bit more, and some people are going to, pay a little bit less. But, or no, they're going to pay the same. I'm going to get a little bit more from some, and I'm going to get a little bit less from others. Right. But yeah. Anyway, love you guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all the juicy stuff. I am going to run with that today. Thankfully, Chris is always a little bit late, so I shouldn't have a problem sliding in over there right quick. But if you are in Chris's group, I'll see you in a couple minutes. If you're in Tech's group, I'll see you in a few hours. And otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a great day.